Networking is one of the most important parts of building a business, not just because it can get you new clients or jobs, but it can really just change how supported you are feeling. It can change how quickly your business is growing, how you are approaching things, who you are learning from, what you are learning, and what you are normalizing and exposed to within your business. And I really wanted that. But whenever I was going to these networking events, I was feeling this immense pressure. Like I had to perform. I had to be able to give my elevator pitch in 20 seconds flat. I had to walk away with a deal or a new client. And it just felt like I had to be something big and grandiose. And I hated it because I didn't want to just go for new clients. I wanted real connection. So I realized really quickly that if I wanted to really make my network equal my net worth, I would have to figure out how to make this networking thing work for me and make it fun so that I could really see the benefits before I would quit. Over the past year, I've been to over 20 networking events, offline and in real life. And from the first few events, you can guess it, came nothing. No opportunities, no clients, no collaborations, not even an offline or virtual coffee. And my introverted self would leave these events feeling completely despondent. I would feel completely destroyed and like maybe I should just quit this whole freelancer thing. Maybe I'm not cut out for it. Because it took so much energy to just go to one of these events, and then it felt easy, like we're exchanging business cards and I'm following people on social media. But then the difficult part came afterwards, when I had to actually put in an effort to build and maintain these relationships and provide value in a way that it's beneficial for them and for me. And that was slow and really painful and awkward. But I also knew that I just couldn't quit, because trying to build a business or a freelancing career outside of the normal conventions of the people that are surrounding you is extremely, extremely challenging. Because believe me, I've tried. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Marguerite, a corporate engineer who moved into the freelancing field and became an online business manager. And now I'm trying to build a freelancing career that is stable, calm, and sustainable. And networking has become one of the big foundations of doing this. So what did I do to make networking more than just bearable and a chore? The first thing I started doing is to stop being interesting and rather be interested. When I started going to networking events, as I said, I felt this immense pressure and I felt like I had to perform. I felt like I was just thinking, how should I sell? How am I going to sell this? When should I pitch my elevator pitch? When should I be pitching? Should I be pitching? All these thoughts, but it was all about me, and me. And now I just go thinking, what can I learn about the people that are there? What can I ask them? And how can I just learn from this experience? And this really helps in a lot of ways, because the first thing is most people going to these networking events also feel the pressure of performing. And if they feel like they have to perform and they feel like they're going to be performed too, there's just this massive wall. There's this massive wall between you and that person already, because they're just waiting for you to pitch and you're just waiting to pitch, and there's no real communication taking place. But if I go in and I just think, how can I learn from this person, or how can I just be curious and ask them a lot of questions? For me, that immediately dissolves all of the pressure. I don't feel like I need to perform at all. So then I just go and ask questions, and they get more and more comfortable because they feel that I'm not going to pitch them, and I actually just learn because I'm asking interesting questions that are interesting to me and what I might want to learn about a business of that type. So what types of questions do I ask, and how do I, even get talking to that person? Well, if it's an in-person event, I take my little glass or my cup of tea and I hold it like a little barrier between myself and them so I can feel a bit more comfortable. And I'll just scan the room, is there somebody standing alone? Is there maybe a group of people? And I'll just go to the group of people and say, hi, I'm Marguerite. Do you mind if I stand here with you guys? And if they say no, cool, no problem. I just look for another group. Or if it's somebody alone, I'll just say, hey, I'm Marguerite. Do you mind if I stand here with you? Why are you here? What did you come here for? That's it. Easy. Start the conversation. Now let's say you're already talking. What types of questions am I asking? Mostly I ask about their family, their job, their dream, their business. What do they do for fun? Those types of questions. But mostly I just ask them, why are they there? What do they do? Are they doing something fun in their business? And then I just stop and listen. I don't try to tell them all about me. Here and there I'll add something. But most of the time I just listen and ask follow-up questions. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Can you tell me a bit more about this particular problem? Or, oh, that's really interesting. I really like swimming too. Where do you go swimming in the area? Whatever. Just remain interested and ask follow-up questions. By the way, if you have really fun icebreaker questions, please put them in the comments for me. I always love learning about new quirky questions and I just enjoy it, so please let me know. Okay, but now, how do I go and find these events? Because cool, now I gave you all these questions you can ask. Well, there are many ways. The one obvious one is obviously to look on Threads, Instagram, YouTube communities, look on Facebook, all of those things. If you're looking for something more in person and in your area, ask your local library, go on the municipality website, call them. But also, do not sleep on small business owners in their coffee shops or a new little bookstore, a nail salon. All these people, they're like usually small businesses that just started up, and they usually have friends who already are business owners, or they may know about an online coaching event or something, and then you can just ask them if there's a networking event that they know of, and you can go there, or they probably know an online one as well. The other thing is just capitalize on your weak ties. Your friends may know somebody who has a small business. So just ask a lot of your friends like, hey, I'm starting this new thing. Do you know somebody who has a small business or who's also a freelancer or whatever? Or do you mind asking around for me because I'm really trying to build a network? You are surprised usually by who your friends know, and their friends may know somebody. And people are also willing to help. So if you're just asking, I'm pretty sure they'll help you out, and you may make a few business friends. Cool. So now you know what questions to ask and where to go. But then how do you take it a step further? How do you make it more meaningful? Well, for that you need a goal. When I started networking, I would go to these events and really just hope somebody would find me interesting and that they would want to talk to me or that they would want to do business with me. And I was hoping they'll just approach me. It was all extremely passive. But now I go and I think, what can I learn from this and how can I make it fun or a challenge, or what can I try and achieve when I go to this networking event? Can I try and just speak to 10 people? Can I go and try and get a new client? Am I just trying to improve my pitch? Am I trying to improve the way I communicate what I do so that people get it within 2 seconds? What am I trying to really achieve here? Am I just here to learn about a new topic? Am I here to try and meet one specific type of person, try and get my ideal client, land a conversation with somebody that I have been looking up to? What am I really here for? And when I've started doing that, it really just made it so much easier to go and just think about that one thing. And then I try to adapt it for, my energy levels and my personality. Can I go to an online event instead of an in-person event this month? Can I at least say one thing in that online meeting instead of just being quiet and passive? Can I maybe stay for 2 hours instead of 4 hours if it's an in-person event? What are my boundaries and how am I going to make this work for myself? And in a lot of the cases, I also gave myself like a little reward afterwards. So this is my goal. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And then my reward is knowing like I'm going to be resting for the next 2 days because an in-person event is really draining to me and I need to chill out. Or the reward can be a nice coffee at a place I've been wanting to try out in town. Give yourself a reward for stretching your comfort zone so your brain knows that this scary event and this goal that you're achieving was worth it, and then it normalizes this for your brain and your comfort zone actually starts stretching. One tip for this as well though is, okay, now you have this goal for an event and you are going. If you can see who is attending, try and interact with them before the event. Like you can sometimes see in the comments if people are going to an event, or sometimes when there is an in-person event, there is like a page showing which businesses have contributed or, are sponsoring the event, or if there's going to be any speakers, and see if you can interact with those people online before you go, because that also gives you an easy goal. Like, this is the one person I want to speak to because I saw them online, or, I saw that they are going to go. And then it gives you a nice starting point, like, oh, I saw this post you posted, and then you can start talking to them about that. So then it's really easy that you have this goal and there is something immediately, like an action you can take to achieve that goal the moment you go to this event. But now you've signed up, you found events, you have questions. Now you really just do have to show up. And by showing up, I mean really showing up for yourself by going to these events, even if you're not in the mood, even if you're tired. If you committed and told yourself you're going to this event, just go. Show up for yourself, even if your brain is giving you 2,000 little reasons why you shouldn't go. But beyond that, also show up by preparing. Prepare for these events. Have a little pitch ready. I'm not saying you have to pitch and be overly salesy, but usually if you're going to a networking event, people expect you to be there for a reason, right? You're not just showing up because, like, either you're interested in what is going on in a specific speaker, or and you have to say something like, hi, yeah, I'm this person, I'm here and here for this, or I'm this person, this is what I do, this is why I'm here, I really want to learn about whatever. So that is how you can show up. What I also mean by showing up is show up in a way that is not salesy and pitchy, and train yourself to be like kind. Can you be caring? Can you be genuine? Can you be friendly? Can you show up and be interested and really listen to what they are saying? Can you show up and provide a little bit of value? And when I say value, now everyone's like, okay, how do I provide value? I got you. Well, the one is you can just be a little bit entertaining. You can be fun to talk to. You can, like I said, be really caring and actually listen to them. And yes, of course, you can provide value in context of your services and what you do and give advice based on your experiences. But sometimes value is just entertaining people, or listening to them, or making them feel comfortable, or not letting them stand there awkwardly in a corner all by themselves. That is already being valuable to them because you're drawing them into a conversation, or you're not letting them stand there awkwardly and feel all alone. That is what you can do by providing value. And what I also mean by showing up is to interact with people between meetings and to show up consistently. Because going to one event is great. That is like kudos to you, that is really difficult to go to. But showing up to the same event 2 or 3 or 4 times, in my opinion, is more important than charisma. Because it takes those 2, 3 or 4 meetings for people to see that your genuineness was not just a performance to get to know people. You actually do care. You actually want them to grow. And then you actually really start building the relationships. And if you now also in between meetings start interacting with their content and sending them a little message here and there, or send them something you think they would enjoy, like find entertaining or may help them from something you've listened to when they spoke to you, so you're showing that you remember the small details, then you are really actually building this relationship. And you, with every single interaction, like you are planting a little seed and watering it. And then that is actually how this relationship blossoms, and also opportunities come to you. And now, this is what I really think about when I think of the phrase, your network equals your net worth. Because it's not always just rich in terms of money. It's rich knowing that I have people I can speak to or ask questions to or message if I'm really stuck or I need somebody to do something for me, obviously for a paid service. But, if I just want to brainstorm with somebody, I know now that I have these people available to me. And even though I'm still relatively new in my freelancing journey, this has been an amazing relief and just an amazing support that I have built. And it has made this journey so much more sustainable. I've got referrals I would never have gotten if I didn't know these people. I was exposed to job opportunities I would never have been able to apply for because they wouldn't ever have shown up on my feed. It has really made such a big difference. And if you are really stuck and struggling to network, maybe it's not because you're terrible at it. It might just be that you're going to things you're not interested in. You are maybe just approaching it from the wrong angle, and you just haven't shown up consistently for yourself or to the same networking group to actually make it more comfortable for you. By the way, if you know of any really cool networking opportunities or places online, please drop them in the comments. I'm always looking for new places to talk to people and expose my brain to new thoughts and places to learn, so I'd really appreciate it. I hope you have a good day and see you in the next one.